Mean mugging.
Did you hit go? Is it going?
Yeah, we're recording.
All right.
This little cactus mason jar.
Oh, yeah.
Set you right here. Don't get too wild.
Keep it southwest.
You're in love with El Paso.
That's true.
Or you're just a big advocate or a defender.
Yes. Well, that too, but I did genuinely enjoy my trip.
Good.
It was not only was the food incredible, but everyone there was super nice and super pleasant, and no one got shot.
And that's all we could ask for.
That's all we could ask for.
That's at least the least of it. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me into your humble abode.
Absolutely.
Dig the vibe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is like, I love it. Musical instruments everywhere, posters, set lists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a parakeet.
Gotta love Winston vibing over there.
You got a betta fish.
Oh yeah.
You got a rescue pup. Beautiful pup.
You know, I never saw myself as like a pet person.
Yeah.
Really. But my girlfriend, she is.
Yeah.
And it was done once we got the dog. I was like, okay. I mean, she had the bird.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, bird's cool. You know, I can live with the bird. But once we got the dog, I'm like, oh, man. Yeah, I like having pets around. It's nice.
Good. It's not something I was really ever into.
Yeah.
I mean, we had pets, but I'm like country, so like they were always outside pets, you know?
Sure.
And like the cat would just like, I swear, we lived on the corner and the cat was like the corner cat, like,
oh yeah,
just getting wrecked.
Oh no.
Like some of the litters were like, oh, poor cat. Like I was like, should I just kind of put you out of your misery? Like,
oh no.
Yeah, it was real country out there.
Right.
But yeah, like thinking about like having a pet now, I'm like, man, it's a lot of work.
It is. That's like, I joke. I'm terrible, but I joke. I'm just like, oh man, if only we could have a dog and I didn't have to walk it or feed it or take care of it. It'd be great.
What do you want one of those little digital ones? What were those little games?
Yeah, Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchis, yeah.
Yeah, Tamagotchi, or like, I don't know. My pet growing up was Pokemon.
Okay.
I had my Pokemon. I was taking care of them, you know, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't mind taking care of my Pokemon.
Well, you could put them in your back pocket.
That's
and then
right. They'd be good.
Yeah,
They're good. They're in the PC.
Yeah.
They're chilling.
Well, guys, I guess welcome to this one time. This one time. Today, I'm joined by the lovely Daphne Greene.
Hello.
You are the lead singer and guitarist of your own band, Daphne and the Glitches.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell me all about your band.
Sure. So this is a relatively new project for me.
Uh-huh.
It's technically been in existence for a few years, but this year, 2019, is, I would say, really the beginning of everything happening with this project, and the lineup is really solidifying and everything. We're a 6-piece now.
Okay. You started off as a...
So I started off going, you know, I don't know how many pieces this is gonna be, but I know I need a drummer and I need a bass player, and then from there we're good.
Yeah. But, so you start off in your mind a 3-piece.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I can play shows with 3.
Yeah.
But, you know, a second guitar is always nice, and, you know, maybe someone can play keys or cello or, you know, whatever. We have a cellist in our band.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Yeah.
I like that because I was there was a hip hop group that was around when we were doing our thing, and they every now and then they would have a cello on stage with them, and it was like so badass.
Strings, man, they're just they're great. They add so much to any situation really.
For sure.
And it's cool because she was actually, her name is Megan, and she was in my very first band that I was in out here in Arizona like 12 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Cello as well, or?
Yeah, actually playing cello. It was like a indie pop punk alternative type thing. It's called 42 Eternal.
Yeah.
You can find the music online. It's pretty great, actually.
Nice.
The music holds up.
Were you singing then too?
So I was more backups.
Okay.
Because it wasn't my band. I actually got brought on as a guitar player.
Okay.
And it was my first, real band.
Ooh.
So I was excited just to be playing shows and doing the thing that I had been wanting to do since working at, Guitar Center and, being like, oh, yeah, rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. So you weren't in a band previous to getting hired at a Guitar Center?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
like a bedroom player?
Kinda.
Yeah.
We did little, tiny shows for at school or
gotcha.
In the bedroom, right, and stuff like that. And we had a kind of a band name called Army of. It was actually Army of, and then there's just a line, so it was Army of fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like it.
It was the name.
I like it.
And the whole gimmick was we would put however many fans we had would get bigger and bigger. The army get bigger.
Yeah.
But that never really took off anywhere. And then I did a couple things in college here and there, played guitar for this thing, didn't quite work out, played guitar for this thing, until I met this guy on I went to school for film, and so on this film set, I met this guy.
I can tell as we were setting up the camera. I kind of let you take hold of that.
I hope I wasn't overstepping.
No, hell no.
So yeah, met this guy named Dan who found out that I played music, and he was the lead in this short film we were on.
Okay.
And I was just an extra. I was just there going ha ha ha, doing background things. And then at the end, he's like, "Oh yeah, so my friend Chris, the director, tells me you play music and play guitar." I'm like, "Yeah," and he is like, "Well, I have this band, and we might be looking for another guitar player. You want to come jam sometime?" I was like, "Yeah." So I jammed with him and the drummer, and they were like, "Yeah, you should play with us."
Yeah, so nice.
That was great, and I was in that band for about a year.
Okay.
And
was that in LA?
This is in Arizona.
Okay.
So this is a Phoenix band. Back when Cairo Arts and I'm trying to think, Modified Arts. You remember that place?
No.
No.
So I moved up here in
Mason
06.
Jar.
No, I moved up here in 06 and I wasn't involved with music till 2010.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, old band.
Yeah.
Old band. And Psycho Steve was still a thing, crazy enough. And then I, that kind of fell apart after a year or so, just different stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I went out to LA, did that project.
Uh-huh.
And the singer from 42 ended up being my bass player in that band.
Okay.
In LA. And then did that for 4.5 years. Spent a couple more years after that. Came back. I'm like, okay, new project, Daphne and the Glitches. Here we are.
Hell yeah. So when did you move back here from LA?
So about 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Oh, that's fresh.
2.5 years.
That's fresh. So yeah, when we were talking earlier about covering Beyonce songs, that was literally that's you were living there. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I was in LA. Lemonade had come out.
Just dropped.
Yeah. Changed my life. Bay became part of my life.
Yeah.
Then.
Good.
No, but shoot, I don't know. Where are we going from there?
Wherever you want to go.
I don't know. So yeah, I came back 2 years ago, and then it took me about a year to find people, put something together.
Yeah. Were you working with the company in Los Angeles, or you got rehired when you came back?
For Guitar Center?
Yeah.
So I never worked for Guitar Center. I did apply, actually. I came to LA transferring. I was working at GameStop.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
And they were going to transfer me out to a store in Burbank. And I was like, okay, cool. At least I got a guaranteed, spot, right? Mm-hmm. So I go out there early, basically interviewed with the intention to just stay and start working as soon as I could. And so I go and I interview and I wait and I wait.
Oh.
Week 2, week 3.
So you're already living over there waiting. I'm
living over here making no money.
In California.
With my little tiny nest egg of savings. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm going to go apply elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'd rather be working in a music job.
Well, you're working at, you worked at 2 notorious places for underpaying for.
Yeah. That's the truth right there.
You're just screwing people over left and right. No, it's like, you love that. It's like,
well, before the GameStop gig, I worked as a valet.
Okay. Yeah.
Driving cars and stuff for a country club. Yeah. And did not get underpaid there.
No, yeah. I applied for one of those gigs when I first moved up here too. Yeah. And unfortunately didn't get the call back because they're like, do you know how to drive stick? And at the time I didn't. Oh. And they're like, well, it's no big. You can learn, but also keep in mind that you're driving some high
really
end.
Nice cars. Oh,
yeah. I think to get into that country club, you had to buy property, and the property started at 1.5 mil. So it's I was oh man, maybe I can get into this.
But so I did that, and I was like, you know what? I really want to be underpaid again. I think I should start working at GameStop. But so applied to Guitar Center, applied to Sam Ash, applied to pretty much any music place I could find.
Yeah.
On Sunset Boulevard, elsewhere. I went all over the place. And it just so happened that timing couldn't have been better, because I applied at a place called Carvin.
Oh, that's right. So that's how you got into Carvin.
Yeah. So I applied at Carvin, and I the interview was so informal. I'm pretty positive the other 2 employees were eating chips and salsa from the place next door.
Yeah.
While I'm talking to the manager, and they're like, "You want some?" And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
While he's asking me questions about music and
stuff. If you didn't take the chip, they would have been like, we can't.
Nah, no. Can't do it. Not chill enough.
Yeah.
But so the store manager of that store was leaving, actually transferring over to the Mesa Boogie store down the way.
Uh-huh.
And that left a slot open.
Okay.
So I
just nestled your way right in.
Snuck right on in.
Yeah.
And did that for 3.5 years.
3.5 years working for a legit company like that.
On Sunset Boulevard, right across the way from Big GC Hollywood.
Yeah. Man. So how was that?
So that was really interesting, actually. And it's funny because having had a year of Guitar Center experience prior.
Okay.
And I was still kind of a young musician, honestly. I'd had one band and, played not that many shows.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but when I was young, I developed an opinion about Guitar Center very quickly.
Well, before I got hired, I think I was in a Guitar Center 3 times.
Okay.
I was a straight bedroom musician.
Sure.
Knew what I had. So I always tell people, I was I would have been, I would have been, because I was the worst employee to work with for the first year and a half that I worked there.
Oh my God. I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, no.
Knowing you now.
Yeah. Well, you get stuck doing something for so long.
You pick things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're a little sponge.
That's right. That's right.
So you developed this opinion.
So I developed this opinion about Guitar Center, and honestly, the Hollywood store didn't do anything to help this opinion, because we would get people all the time frustrated from the service over at Guitar Center, and they'd be like, "Man, those guys treated me like crap. They pretended, they treated me like I didn't know anything, blah, blah, blah." And we would just scoop that business right on up and be like, "Oh, well, welcome to Carvin. Let's build a custom guitar right now." Or PA system, amps, whatever.
Carvin did.
They had all sorts of stuff.
Everything.
Yeah, all American made.
Yeah, and beautiful craftsmanship.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot speak ill about the quality.
Well, you still have a contract that you're under, right? You can't say anything negative.
Well, I have a couple of things I could say if I wanted to. But no, as far as like the actual products themselves, it was kind of cool working for a place where I'm like, you know what? This place is like small. It was family owned and operated. And, you know, Guitar Center felt like this big evil giant across the way.
Of course, yeah.
And they only kind of reinforced that as I continued to work there. You know, because the guys who were working there who'd been there for years, they'd talk about like, oh yeah, I remember the days when there was like, you know, 20 different guitar stores along the Sunset Boulevard, and now it's just, you know, us and Mesa Boogie and Guitar Center.
Yeah.
And then PV opened up a shop there for a little while, but I know Carvin's closed down. I don't know if PV's there anymore.
I don't know. I think Ray had mentioned on that the CEO of PV went in like the undercover boss.
Okay.
And Ray's like, I do not like PV.
Yeah.
Yeah. He, you know, from that, it was just not a good look. Apparently, I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I would, based on that, maybe they're not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, you get rolling, not roll end, but you get rolling.
Yeah.
You know, and these corporate giants, you know, they just kind of get bigger and bigger. They become their own conglomerate.
Do. And it's true. I mean, it's definitely a reality that Guitar Center has eaten up a lot of the mom and pops.
For sure.
No question.
For sure. And it has its pros and it has its obvious cons.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The pros are that, you know, you can get just about anything and return it. You know, you have to test it out. You can, because stuff is going to sound differently in the store and through different amps than when you take it home and maybe use it for, you know,
a gig
or a quick recording session. So you know how it's going to operate. You know, it's like that's huge to be able to test that out. Cause like it takes a lot of upfront investment if you're going to take the time to, you know, find out what you like or what's going to work for you in this, you know, specific scenario. I mean, short of like going to like some sort of like Crass or some sort of recording institute
where you have access to a lot of things.
Have it. Yeah. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything for sure. Yeah.
But so, you know, now it's funny how coming from that mentality and that place, and now I'm back at Guitar Center for 2 years, and I'm like, you know what?
But you're bringing that mentality where it's like, I don't want to treat other people the way I have been treated before.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And you know what? I always kind of took it upon myself when I came back to be like, you know what? I want to do everything I can to give people the best experience they can at Guitar Center. Because having, you know, done that for 3.5 years and hearing all these people complain and be like, God, like I was treated like crap. They didn't know anything. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I got you covered.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're definitely one of the more knowledgeable people I've had the pleasure to work with, you know, especially you could attribute that to working at, you know, Carvin and then, you know, doing work on your own pedals and amps and like you're constantly like ripping things apart. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like I definitely lean on you a lot.
Well, I mean, it's my pleasure. I have to say this staff that we're at is probably one of the most solid ones I've ever been at.
Yeah, we hear it all the time for sure.
And it's definitely refreshing to have that. And everyone gets along, which is also really nice. And just kind of a pleasant vibe to the Mesa store.
We have to, you know, you're going to put up with each other for 8 hours a day.
Exactly. Yeah, retail.
2 hours of hard working.
I'm counting down Black Friday. I had to write it down on the calendar today.
Yeah.
Oof.
I would like to burn, but they won't allow it. Okay, so you work at Carvin.
Right. So I did that for 3.5 years.
And then you jumped on board.
So I actually became the assistant manager of that shop for 2 of the 3.5 of the 3.5 years.
Nice.
Which was super cool.
Yeah.
And I kind of like took some initiative to like, you know, make connections with like the general manager and like go visit the store in San Diego. When they needed a representative, I'm like, I'll go.
Yeah.
You know,
put yourself out there.
And I went to NAMM with them. Like that was my first introduction
I've
into
never
going
been
to
to
NAMM.
I've never been to NAMM.
And I was able to go every single year that I worked there, which was
you still got an in?
Insane. I do. I got you. I got you, boo.
You know it's around my birthday.
Is it?
Yeah,
oh, shoot, that's right.
I've been there for 10 years and I've yet to go, and it's always around my birthday. But I don't know if I can do this year. Maybe next year.
Next year? All right. You let me know now.
Shoot, 2021, we're going out with a bang. Ba-bang.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get booked to play one of the gigs out there.
That's the hope. I don't think this year. I'm just like kind of assuming just because we don't have any music recorded yet. We're doing that.
Are you going to do like home studio, or are you trying to find like... We kind of talked about this, but I'm acting like we haven't.
Yeah.
You know, smoke and mirrors over here.
This has been a journey, because the original mentality was I did want to kind of do a lot of home studio stuff and try to get it as far as I could by myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever I didn't feel like was up to par, or, you know, I wasn't hitting the mark that I felt like we could, then get outside help. But my tune is changing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking with a few different producers, engineers, etc. And now it's all about getting money.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, that's the big thing, right? A little GoFundMe page, a little Kickstarter.
Exactly.
Little, hey, I'll give you this, you know, a little extra
a little
swag.
Trade, little whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's the rough part.
Yeah.
Coming up with the fundage.
The good news is we have several good options, and I think it's good. I'm hoping we're gonna have something done by the end of this year.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Oh damn! End of this year. It's a month and a half.
That's fingers crossed.
Okay.
Mind you. Even if it's just a single or a couple songs.
Okay.
But and then hopefully January, February, I want to put out more, because we have a lot ready to go. And,
but not pressed down and you know, something that you could provide as an actual single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get on it.
I know. It's time. It's been too long since I put out music.
Yeah. There needs to be a glitch in the Matrix.
Oh, yes.
Is that the name of the album?
Glitch in the Matrix? That's pretty good. I think, so been toying with a couple different like titles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've been feeling like the first EP, kind of want to call it Out of Alpha.
Okay. What's the whole thought process behind that? Or do you just want to kind of leave it for like interpretation?
Let me just say, so that's ideally going to be like a 5-song EP.
Okay.
Right? Out of Alpha.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do another 5-song EP, Into Beta.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like it. Okay.
And there's some double entendre going there.
Yeah.
We've got some, development of things, and going from one thing to another.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a theme in a lot of music I've been writing right now. So a lot of transition.
Yay! Yeah. I like that. I like well, you know, I'm big on puns and metaphors and you know, just there being layers to that. So
definitely.
That's awesome. So to go back, and you're saying that to bring it back to Bay.
Yes.
She had a big influence, the album did.
Yeah.
In you.
Yeah.
That kind of allow you to be more comfortable with yourself?
Well, you know what? Oddly enough, that album, in a weird way, ended up being counterintuitive to my development.
Uh-huh.
I love the record. So I'm talking about Lemonade. Okay, 2016, Lemonade drops. And I had been, I knew Beyonce songs. Like, I knew Single Ladies and, the hits and whatnot. But Lemonade came out, and that record, I watched the video that was like on HBO, and I had HBO at the time, and I was like, okay, cool.
Living large.
Watch Lemonade. And it was a very powerful piece of not only music, but film.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed with the work as a whole.
I got to take it in because I was telling you I haven't. So
Yeah.
I
definitely recommend.
Okay.
And so I watched this thing, and I'm like, man, like not only was I like, yeah, this is great. This is by far my favorite Beyonce music I've ever heard. I identified with like several of the tracks, and I was like really excited. I'm like, you know what, I want to cover some of these.
Yeah.
And this was at a time right after my LA band had broken up.
Okay.
And I was like kind of putting together a new project. Daphne and the Glitches was like in its embryonic stages.
Uh-huh.
And I had a bunch of people around me telling me like, you know what, you can't do that. You should not cover Lemonade because of the subject matter,
Mm-hmm.
the content. Basically because I was not black.
Yeah.
It was.
And you're trying to pay homage.
I'm trying to pay homage.
Like,
I was like, you know what, this is amazing. I want to tell people how much I love this record by covering it and be like, you should check it out too.
yeah.
And also, so as a transgender woman, I felt like, you know, I could sort of glob onto this feeling of like being a minority and like, you know, dealing with adversity.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I related to things that she was saying. It felt like it
spoke to you.
spoke to me, right? And I had all these people telling me, no, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. You know, you gotta. I literally had a few people say, no, you have to let them have this.
Them.
Which was
Yeah.
little like cringy.
Yeah.
But I had so many people telling me that in my circle, I shied away from it.
But did you also have some people that were supporting you? Wow.
It was at a point in time in my life. It was probably one of the lowest points in my life, and I didn't have a lot of people supporting me, to be honest with you.
Wow.
So that was kind of rough, and that like really kind of it put me in a little bit of a
funk to say the least. Yeah.
About like, oh shoot, like I can't
express myself
in this way. I can't like cover these songs. That I'd never felt that would be an inappropriate thing for any reason.
Yeah.
And it really like checked me, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to like, you know, ruffle any feathers. I don't want to be that girl.
I wonder if you were to like now maybe like reach out to Beyonce. To Beyonce and like tweet or something and be like, hey, I'm a transgender woman. I was really looking to cover your songs, and then people are telling me not to.
Yeah.
I wonder what would have
if she would
if she would have seen it
sure.
through that whole set. But then, you know, what if she did and she was like, no, I fully support you, and then it's like all these people were like, oh.
See, missed opportunity. I feel like she would have loved it.
I would think so.
I feel like she would have.
How, as an artist, you're going to take offense to people appreciating your work and trying to spread it and trying to spread it some more. It's not like, I can't imagine that you had like all these like, you know, paying gigs out of this to make money off of it. No, it's like, hey, this album has touched me and I want to spread it.
And at a pivotal point in my life, no less.
Yeah.
Like, it was really like, it spoke to me at a time when I think that time had a lot to do with.
When you needed it?
Yeah.
Is that when you were like making the jump? Like.
The jump.
As far as like transitioning, like in your mind, like outwardly.
So I had actually been out as a woman for a couple of years before that.
Okay.
I'd say like 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
It was like 2013.
Okay.
But I also kind of did things, I say quote unquote backwards, because there's no right or wrong way to do it. This thing called coming out or transition or whatever.
Yeah.
But
accepting yourself.
Correct. But I came out socially. I was just like, I'm a transgender woman, like on Facebook, and I had a picture of me, wearing a wig and makeup and a dress, and but I hadn't started any kind of, physical changes at that point.
Other than just dressing, or
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was investigating those things. Those were things that I was interested in.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I can't like hide this part of myself anymore. So I did that, and then, and there's like other layers to that.
Of course,
as well.
It can't just be like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
there's. I can imagine that there's a lot of, a conflict as far as like, just worrying about being accepted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it put me, coming out put me in a really tough spot because the place I was working at, I faced some serious misunderstanding and I would say discrimination.
Yeah.
For wanting to come out at work in a place where I did my job well.
Mm-hmm.
They had offered me several raises. I was even told by the supervisors, like, we're offering you pay raises faster than any associate we've ever really dealt with at your level.
Yeah.
In this job. And everyone told me how, like everyone liked me. I felt like everyone, I fit in really well at this place.
Yeah.
And the manager, like literally when I kind of told, so I told one manager who was a woman first because I felt most comfortable with her. Mm-hmm. And then she told the other manager, and he like asked me to speak with him privately in this room. I was like, so like, are you planning on coming to work in a dress? Like, are you going to be wearing a wig? Like, I'm just like, and I was not at that time prepared to even like handle myself answering these questions.
Yeah.
Like to defend myself and be
it's not like you talk to like a public relations person.
First of all, that's not your business.
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't matter how I come, like, as long as I'm appropriate for work.
Yeah.
That doesn't enter into it. But so anyway, this, he's asking me these questions. He's like, well, I don't think you'd be able to go out and do gigs anymore. Because at that time...
gigs for the company.
Gigs for the company. So this was... I'm just going to put him on blast right now. So this was Studio Instrument Rentals. Okay. This was the place I worked right after Carvin. It's a rental house. Mm-hmm. They're nationwide, but like Hollywood is one of the biggest, locations.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was super cool. I got to work with like major name artists. I got to work with Prince, Ringo Starr, the Beach Boys. I had really...
Wait, you're working with Prince and they're upset about you going out in a dress?
That's what I'm saying. I literally... This guy was like, how do you think people are going to react?
Oh, my God.
You go, dressed this way. I'm like, I have gone dressed in the way you're worried about, representing my band, and have had no issues with anybody ever.
Yeah.
This entire time. So I'm confused. These same places that you're sending me for work, these venues that I've already established a relationship, some of these places already know me. What's the issue? And so I was dealing with this.
Yeah. And
then there was a separate entity, the actual like owner of one of the two owners. Real gem of a human being.
Ooh, okay.
Who he's kind of like the when I say jump, you say how high kind of person.
Gotcha.
And there was misunderstanding,
to say the least,
with this gentleman. I guess I had irked him by like, so I'm an efficient individual. If someone tells me, hey, I need you to bring all of these plastic, plexiglass drum shields out to the lobby and set them up for us to examine, and in the next hour. I'm like, is there any chance I could set them up here in the QC area, like where they were?
Yeah.
And you could just take a look here? Because it's literally like it was...
Bang, bang.
Yeah, he was already there. He's in the same building, and didn't like that. Didn't like that I questioned him.
Yeah.
And this was like, I'm just trying to be efficient. Like, you can tell me no. If that's fine. I'll do whatever you want. And then I think he didn't like that I would like practice sometimes on the amps. But it would be when there was no work. Anyway, guy didn't like me. I end up taking some violins like that were broken to a repair shop and be like, hey, are these fixable? He's like, nope, you should just buy new violins. I'm like, okay, cool. Come back, park in the parking lot. I'm carrying all these violins in like old crummy cases. Mm-hmm. And in order to carry the 9 violins that I had this cello bow that was also broken, did not work anymore. I was using it as like a to carry all the
it's broken
all the violins on it, right? One of the cases, the handle actually breaks off.
Oh, okay.
And it falls on the ground. In the case, violin's totally fine. But guess who rolls by? And the next day I was called to meet with him and got let go. Conveniently, like 2, maybe 3 days after I talked to my manager.
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying for sure there was anything related.
Yeah, like you said, it's convenient.
But I definitely, like, when I found out that, he was saying, like, you can't go for gigs, I was like, you can't do that. This doesn't change who I am, doesn't change my ability to do my job.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's going to be a problem, like, I will probably have to like talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like lawyer up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that's not how it's supposed to work. So I don't know if that was the wrong thing to say or what, but I probably should have lawyered up afterward.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't pursue anything?
I didn't.
Wow. I mean,
I was really hoping I could get my job back, and instead I ended up just getting blackballed at all the locations.
For that company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, this person is a risk, they're a troublemaker, they're doing this, they're doing that.
And it's a, what is it, right to work state. So, he didn't even need a reason to fire me.
California is right to work as well?
California is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's always, that's weird terminology, right?
Yeah, Yeah. So anyway, after that long sordid tale.
Yeah.
So got let go, basically, from that gig. And I kind of felt like me coming out was part of that. Mm-hmm. And that put me in a tough financial spot.
For sure.
And I was looking for alternate work. I applied at Guitar Center. They also kind of like gave me this like, oh, well, you seem like you know a lot about stuff, but we're worried that as a salesperson, if you're coming into work, without hair one day and with hair another day, the customers may not know who you are. I literally had a manager tell me that at the Sherman Oaks store. And I'm like,
wow, just grasping.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So you're knowledgeable, but we're unsure how your life choices make us feel,
and this
or
was
make
in
other
Los
people
Angeles,
feel. That's what it.
Which also blew my mind.
Exactly.
So I'm dealing with that, and like I got desperate, and I ended up taking a customer service call center job.
Okay.
I worked for Nordstrom Rack.
Ooh. Hote
Customer service, baby.
Yeah, give me a customer service voice.
So I actually practiced my femme voice, my higher voice. While I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Hote Look, NordstromRack.com. This is Daphne. How may I help you?
Hey, I love it.
It was actually kind of fun to be able to practice that way.
For sure. Well, you were dressed up as Harley Quinn for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
And you were trying to keep that character going.
Oh man, I was trying so hard. I made it most of the day. But I broke character at the end there.
I was pretty impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the character thing too, I guess that applies to your background from film school as well, right?
Yeah, and I used to do some acting too. Like I did like theater stuff in high school and grade school and whatnot. And
yeah.
I like playing characters. I like doing voices.
So you've always worn makeup.
I was uncomfortable.
If I can make a bad joke.
I was uncomfortable wearing makeup in high school.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a theater thing, whatever. But like, yeah. Now it's so funny because we're like, oh yeah, we're doing this podcast. Oh shit, I got to put on my makeup. Oh,
Yeah. I was like, how do you want to dress up?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Strip down.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like stripping down too. So.
Make it real. Hell yeah. So you got a gig coming up, right?
Yeah.
You're doing this Guilty Pleasures.
Yes,
I love
November
it.
23rd.
November 23rd at Last Exit Live.
That's it.
So Guilty Pleasures. What's the name of the event?
So it's Guilty Pleasures it's kind of a series of events that gets put on. My friend Mike over at Ep24 Records kind of came up with the idea, and it's being co-hosted not only by Ep24 but KWSS 93.9. Danny Cutler is part of it, and then also. Sorry, Siri, I wasn't talking to you.
Did we say Siri?
I guess so. So let's see, where was it? Oh yeah, so Danny Cutler, 93.9, and oh shoot, I'm gonna blank.
Damn
right
it,
now.
Siri!
Oh man, totally threw me off my groove there. So
Look at that cactus case.
My cactus case. Plug Valfrey. Endorse me.
Endorse this Juan.
That's right. People talk to me all the time about my cases. They're like, your cases are so cute.
Yeah.
Where did you get them?
And they're always like enormous.
Oh, yeah. I like it big.
Hey.
Hey.
This is a family podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about, Juan. Bravo
No,
Pay.
it's definitely not. Oh, Bravo. Yes.
Bravo Pay.
You know they're based in Chandler.
I do.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Yeah, I met the co-owner, because I think it's a husband and wife, and then one of their managers. They did an event at a now closed venue called the Listening Room.
Oh yeah.
And they had Madonna's guitar player there.
Oh wait, cool.
God, what's his name? I'm trying to
rad.
blank on his name. But yeah, I introduced to them, saw them. I was like, love your stuff. It sounds like such a great idea. And then like 3 weeks later, they were on Shark Tank. And I think they got a deal with Cuban.
Oh,
if I'm mistaken.
All right.
So I'm glad to see that they're still, because I hadn't heard about it in a while. So
Yeah.
I was like happy to see that they're still,
they're still doing it, and
Yeah.
they've been doing a lot around the valley.
I would imagine like everybody needs to jump on it. If you're a performing artist, like you need to have that app. And if you love to, take in local music, artistry, and want to reward or, give back to to the artist community, like
Right.
you should have that app on your phone. It's so easy
Absolutely.
to do it. Yeah.
$15 for a ticket. 2 dubs.
15, you can Venmo it, you can Zelle it.
That's right. That's right.
Or show up with cold hard cash.
But I'm excited for this gig.
Yeah, guilty pleasures. So you guys are covering songs that are people's guilty pleasures.
Correct.
Yeah, I love that idea. It's
Yeah.
such a good idea.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
And my buddy Mike, who I've known for a long, long time, he was talking to me years ago about this idea, like wanting to do it and everything. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great, And eventually, I'm pretty sure I was in my old band when he did his first Guilty Pleasure show. And back then I was like, I know what songs I do. I know what I would do.
Yeah.
And so some of these I've been like wanting to do since that time.
Since the announcement of the idea.
It's been percolating, and it's finally come to fruition that I've had a band in Arizona where the show's being hosted, and we can do this.
And they're on board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They invited us, which was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for mashups, like
Okay.
remixes and stuff.
All right.
Because I love music that introduces me to new artists.
Yes.
And new genres.
Yes.
So like when I was in my hip hop group, I had an idea to do a basically take our rapper's vocals, perform his raps, but over classic rock riffs.
Okay.
Like, so we do Led Zeppelin, Hendrix, AC/DC.
Yeah.
Play those songs. So I was sitting there writing up a playlist on like what kind of matches, what classic songs matched our hip hop. So it'd be like that rap rock type, which I'm a sucker for.
Oh, same.
Yeah. But it never came. It never came to fruition. Exactly. Unlike yours, so I'm jealous.
I'm super excited for some of these songs.
You can't drop what you're doing?
I mean, I can tease a little bit.
Okay.
So we're definitely gonna do a little Katy Perry.
Okay.
I don't know how much I should share.
Don't leave it just behind the veil.
All right. Let's just say this. So we're gonna be doing early 2000s female power pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
So you guys will enjoy it. Are you guys going to have the cellist there?
Oh,
Celloist?
Yes. Cellist.
Okay.
Is correct. But she's actually going to be playing some synth.
Oh.
Dropping some sweet synth lines down for this
like
gig.
a bassy synth?
So she's got, I got this sweet new Yamaha. Remember that YC Reface, the red thing?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you gotta hear this.
Well,
thing.
I obviously got to go to the show.
Yes.
Which is when again?
November 23rd.
November 23rd.
That's right. We're gonna be on, I believe, at 10.
Damn it! I think
PM.
I'm in little old Yuma, doing some other podcasts.
You don't need to be there.
Well, I tried to do these 2 podcasts last time I went in September and they fell through. So
okay.
This is a remake, and it's my mom's birthday. So maybe is there gonna be like a live stream?
You know what? I need to get those details because someone is...
Even if there is, you need to show up to the Last Exit Live and catch it live.
That's right. That's right. Got to tell them.
You do. You have to be there, and maybe there'll be some of this pumpkin. What is it? Pumpkin ginger ale?
Pumpkin pie ginger beer. How's that tasting?
It's delicious, and like I was telling you, I was surprised that it's not like pumpkin spice.
No.
Like,
No.
when you go get your coffees and your slushies, that tastes like there's actual pumpkin, just stirred up in there.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for some of the pulp. Are you a pulp person?
I love pulp.
Yes.
Always pulp in my OJ.
Yeah.
Always.
Weirdos.
It gives it, a little bit of texture.
The texture gives your body something else to break down, so it's not just pure azúcar.
That's right.
Azúcar. You know a little bit of Spanish, right?
Poquito.
You had to. I mean, you're in LA, you're in Arizona. Are you from Arizona?
So I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
I was born in Chicago.
Chi-town.
But that lasted 2 months, and my parents were done with the cold.
Yeah. It was brutal, right?
Oh, yeah. They had been there most of their lives.
Yeah. So what did your parents do?
So my dad was an accountant.
Okay.
And my mom was, I'm trying to think the best way. I think she was an assistant for an architect.
Oh, okay.
I believe was her role at that time.
Yeah.
So like personal assistant.
In Chicago is what you're saying.
In Chicago. I believe it was for this guy Harry Weiss, who's kind of a big deal, if I remember correctly.
I'm not familiar.
He's like a big name in architecture.
Yeah. Did he do like that big mirror thing?
I don't think that was him. Okay. But he's got some other stuff out there.
Some gargoyles here and there.
Yeah, right. Like, oh yeah, that's a Weiss right there.
They transferred down here moved down here for
the heat, and my mom's folks were out here. So
okay.
My dad was like, "You want to be with your folks?"
Yeah.
Which I was down with because my mom.
As a 2-month-old, yeah, you were totally on board.
Grandma and Grandpa, yes, please spoil me. And yeah, I grew up 23 years here in Phoenix and Glendale, Phoenix, and then moved out to LA for 6.5.
6.5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back for another 2.
Another 2. Oh, okay. Because that's right. You want to go ahead and.
LA is where my heart is now.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah, I know you because you had just visited, right?
I just visited, and I'm like, shit. I gotta go back here. I miss it a lot.
Yeah. Did you reconnect with a lot of old friends?
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only in there for a couple days, and we kind of had some business to take care of for most of the time.
That's right. You were saying you were part of this launch, right?
Speaking of, I'll do a little plug for them. My friend Sam Sawyer, who's an incredible illustrator, animator, who she is doing Kickstarter for this series. It's called the Salem series, like Salem witches, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it is super cool. Their Kickstarter is doing really well. They're, I think, past the $40,000 or $50,000 mark to their $60,000 they're trying to raise.
Wow.
So I'm really proud of her for hustling this thing real hard. Has some really great names attached to it.
Yeah.
And should check out this series. It's an so I hope I can do this justice. It's about a cryptid, a cryptid who is finding their identity and trying to figure themselves out. A non-binary character, by the way. You know what that is?
So non-binary, is that kind of like you? I'm just want to like speaking visually, like seeing them. Would you be able to tell, like, or try to make a poor assumption of what they would identify or who as they would identify?
So maybe a little bit more on the in between male and female spectrum.
Yeah, like maybe some ambiguity to like their physical, structure.
Appearance, absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
And really cool, inclusive cast and concept, and I'm really excited for them to get this thing off the ground.
So people could find it if they go to Kickstarter and search for
I think
Salem.
It's actually been featured as one of the Kickstarters we like.
Oh, because it's doing pretty hot right now.
If you look up the Salem series, you should be able to find it.
So would they be able to find like pilot clips on YouTube? People or
they do have a YouTube. They've got there was actually a cast of the whole Kickstarter launch party that we were at and helped with, and there should be some clips, I believe, of some of the animation and prototypes of what the show's going to be like.
Animation is an animated show?
It is it's a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Because you said I think you said comic or illustrator is what you had said. Yeah, that's right.
She draws. She makes things appear on paper.
Yeah. She's good with things that leave a trace and white paper.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. So would that be, do you know if it would be animated here or in Japan or?
She just moved to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that is she has animators that she's been working with who are doing a lot of the work thus far. I'm not sure, with the funding they get, if they're going to be hiring additional people. I don't know any of the details of that.
Yeah, I'm asking you all these details on a project that's not yours. No, yeah.
But it's super cool. I highly recommend you check it out and give to the Kickstarter if you want to support a really cool project.
Yeah, before and after you check out Daphne at Last Exit Live.
Correct.
So what else are you passionate other than music and I guess film?
Yeah.
Well, you worked at GameStop, so I would assume games.
Well, I'm definitely a video gamer.
Yeah.
I love my games.
So are we going to anger some people here if we ask you if you're Xbox, PS, or PC?
So I'm going to be straight up with everybody.
Get ready. Buckle up.
I love all three. I respect all three. And I feel that most people are ignorant when it comes to video game consoles because they're all good.
Yeah, of course.
They all have their ups and downs and pros and cons.
Yeah.
I will say I do own an Xbox One and I'm proud of it.
Hey, yes.
A lot of people hate on the Xbox these days, but
they do.
I don't know.
I don't like the PS controller. I don't like the joysticks.
Like the PlayStation one?
No, which I know I'm pretty sure they make like an Xbox version of that.
You know what? That's the thing that's cool right now is you can get an adapter where you could play an Xbox controller on a PlayStation and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You you get comfortable with what you play, with what you're doing, with what you grew up with, most likely.
Yes.
You know, and PlayStation has something going for it where if you grew up with PlayStation, the controller really hasn't changed.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
Since PS1, it's pretty much the same thing. And it has improved, obviously. But Xbox has come a long way from the original.
The big hulking loaf of bread.
Oh, my God. Those first controllers were so bad. And then they figured it out, and they made the smaller ones. And then the Xbox 360 came out, and that felt good to me.
Yeah,
It just
same.
worked. And, like, I liked the joysticks. I could play my fighters. I could play my FPSs. And I liked the interface.
Yeah, same.
Something about it just works for me.
Yeah, same. And that's one thing is it just I didn't have like a gaming console since like I think Super Nintendo.
Okay,
and then
wow.
and then next thing you know, like 10, 12 years later, my parents buy us an Xbox 360.
Okay.
So that was my next like actual like
step.
owning it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
a
just
big leap.
Never looked back.
That's a lot of generations.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, I would go to my sister's boyfriend's house, and he had Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
They had the old school Sega.
Okay.
And then one of my buddies had a PlayStation, but I just never really liked it. And then I remember my buddy, my best friend had an Xbox, and we went over and played Halo for the first time. Ooh. And I was like, "What is this? Like, I hate this." Like, I couldn't get used to it because I was so used to just the 2-dimensional.
Right.
You know, and then but once like I went over like a few days in a row and got it down, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
And then video games just became life.
There you go. That's what happens.
Halo became life.
Halo became life. Clarification.
LAN parties and all that. Yeah.
Oh man, that was the shit back then.
It was. Oh, just screaming at each other from the other rooms.
Yeah. Pizza and Mountain Dew till 2-3 a.m.
Don't remind me about Mountain Dew. The last time I had Mountain Dew, it was Frankie's podcast.
Oh shoot.
We made a horrible drink and it tasted like body wash.
Oh my God. Like Axe body wash?
Probably worse than that. I don't know what's worse than that, but it was whatever I drank that night. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's pretty special.
It's a special concoction.
That's right.
So what games are you into right now? Do you play like online? Have you thought about starting a Twitch?
You know what? I've definitely thought about starting a Twitch. That's like, I feel like I've been a lazy, productive person this last year, and I have a couple excuses.
You were in a pretty serious accident.
I was in a pretty serious accident. I broke my femur, broke my ankle in 2 places.
Jeez.
Definitely threw a wrench into the works there.
Or 3.
Yeah, to say the least. And that definitely slowed me down a bit this year. But no, I really think I should start a Twitch. I've had so many people tell me, like, you know, Daphne, I feel like, you know, you're an entertaining, cute trans lady who would probably get a lot of viewers if you just started a Twitch. And I look online, I'm like, I watch other people's Twitches just to like see, like, okay, like if I were to do this, like what would I be up against? And I'm like, this person has 3 million views.
Yeah. It's just doing it.
It's just like they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, they're not saying things. I'm like, I could do better than this.
Yes.
So I feel like I should. I feel like I need. It's coming. Let's just say it's coming.
Okay.
But I've also had to be good about video games and not playing too much.
For neglect of what?
Music. Getting my recordings done.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I love games, and they can be so addictive sometimes because they're fun and they're great. And I definitely fell hard for what do you call it? Call of Duty World War II.
Okay.
I'm a stickler for the World War II. I know everyone else has moved on to the new Modern Warfare and everything, and there's been a few since then, but I'm still like, no, I like my World War II. And then I got the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, too.
So,
which also.
So futuristic Star Wars.
Yep.
And then
like
throwback
World War II, 50s, 40s era, shooter.
Yeah.
And so then I've got those two that were kind of my main games. And then I'm also kind of a Magic the Gathering nerd.
Okay.
I like Magic. And there's like a digital version of that.
Really?
That is on the Xbox. And it was free.
That sounds expensive. Oh, it's free?
It's free. It's a FTP game. You can spend money on it, but if you're a cheap person like me and you would rather just grind your way to getting all the cards, you don't have to spend a money.
Well, that's what you should do.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But not everyone feels that way. And, hey, if you got the money to burn, more power to you.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, I guess.
Support the games, support the people who are making it. I think
that's a good point. That's a good point. Like people that
they gotta make their money somehow.
Yeah. That they do fund, as long as those assholes are like putting the money back into the game instead of just like, oh yeah.
Oh, and you know what? While we're at it, Wizards of the Coast, Stainless Games, get your shit together.
Oh,
I know you don't care about this game anymore. I know we've moved on to MTG Arena. I know that's the new thing, but you shouldn't leave a game like that in the state that it's in.
Is there like a whole subreddit? People just like...
Oh, I'm sure there is. I haven't even bothered to look.
I thought you'd be the moderator.
It's glitchy as hell in the bad way.
Yeah.
And just like... don't get me started. So, Magic the Gathering, playing that game. So that's my third one. And then, actually, this could open a topic of conversation here. My fourth... I'm going to call this my guilty pleasure game right now.
Wait. That's 3, Phil.
That's right.
All right. So keep that thought. Don't forget.
Yep.
I also had it hit the little boys' room. Can I call it a little boys' room here?
You may.
There's 3 females up in here.
I mean, it can be the little girls or boys or, they, thems.
All right.
Room.
Make me another one of these wonderful drinks, if you would, please. Thank you.
I can do that.
Don't forget that thought.
No, I won't. I know exactly where I'm going with that.
All right, folks. And action.
So, we were talking about my guilty pleasure game.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know Blizzard?
Yeah, I do know of Blizzard. They did, the big one is, don't tell me.
I won't.
Is it World of Warcraft?
You got it.
Okay, cool.
And that's the big one.
Did they also do Diablo, or is that a different one?
They did. So they're heavy hitters. I mean, they started with Warcraft.
Okay.
And then they did, I can't remember if Diablo came first or StarCraft. I think it might have been Diablo. But StarCraft also in there.
Yeah. I remember real quick. I remember as a kid, one of the kids down the street at the end, he was a big gamer.
Okay.
And I was really young, so I didn't know anything about like PC gaming. And he's like, "Hey, you guys want to watch me play Diablo?" And I was like, "Oh my god, it sounds badass!
Yeah.
Like, what's this game?" And then it was just a bunch of like
dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
Here, watch me hack and slash these goblins.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
and this was like,
I gotta go back and get a potion.
This is like 96, 97 too. Like, so it was like,
when that game came out though, that was revolutionary.
It was no, for sure it was.
Deal.
But he was just like, "You guys want to watch him play this game?
Want to get your minds blown?"
Diablo. And I'm like, okay. And I was just like sat there for like a good 25 minutes. I was like, okay, I'm kind of over it.
All right, bye.
See you later.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go ride bikes.
So let's see. We're digging into these guys, huh?
Okay. So, Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, and then from World of Warcraft, there's this little spin-off game. It's been pretty popular of theirs. It's called, and I should mention Overwatch, too. Big deal right now.
Yeah, that was big.
So from World of Warcraft came Hearthstone.
I have heard of that one.
You've probably seen me playing it at work every once in a while.
Allegedly.
Or at lunch or whatever.
Allegedly.
Right. I wasn't, maybe was not on the clock when that was happening. But anyway, so Hearthstone is a... can be either mobile or on like PC, collectible card game. Okay, so not unlike Magic the Gathering. a little bit more simplified.
So it's like all your favorite games rolled into one.
Rolled into one. It's great because you can play it on your phone, and the games go by pretty quick. So like, standing in line somewhere, and you need to kill like a couple minutes, pop out Hearthstone, play a game or two. Oh, I'm at the end of the line.
Yeah.
It's great, and it's quick and fun, and the artwork is super, engaging, and the gameplay is great, and it's only gotten better as they've continued developing this game.
Nice.
But here's where the guilty pleasure part comes in. When I went to LA and spoke with some friends of mine who also played the game, I was catching up and I'm like, hey, by the way, I haven't seen you on Hearthstone recently. I miss playing. And they told me that they had stopped playing because... So do you know anything about what's going on with Hong Kong?
I know that they're trying to extradite basically Chinese people with maybe warrants in China or something like that, or
so, I guess, and
maybe not colonize, but integrate Hong Kong to China
back
as well.
Into China,
Yeah, Hong Kong's like, we good.
Yeah, we're
hard pass.
We kind of like
Swipe
how
left.
things were. Right.
Swipe left.
Exactly. So that's going on, right? And
Yeah.
everyone's like, support Hong Kong, free Hong Kong, blah, blah, blah. Well, one of the...
oh, God damn it. Is that because China's such a big market that they have to cave?
Yeah, just wait.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So here's what's... No, you're good. So they have a big tournament, right, for Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And the winner of the tournament... Pause. Pin in it. You coming out? Do you want to come out? Do you need to take the dog out? Can we pause one more time?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Here. Yeah, you're fine.
I know. Go ahead. You're going to stand up. You want to walk?
Such a beautiful dog.
She's gorgeous. I love her.
By the way, I'm not cutting this out.
Light of my life. All right.
I like to keep it raw and uncut. I might cut out when we made drinks just because, we're not here. But right now, we're still in front of the camera.
All right. So, continue the story. Okay, so tournament, right?
Yeah.
And one of the Hearthstone contestants who wins the tournament, Hong Kong, and makes a statement.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Free Hong Kong. Support Hong Kong. Like when they're getting their award or their trophy or whatever. That was like their thing. And
where was this event being held?
Had to be in the States.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
In Chinatown? Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
And so this happens. Shortly thereafter, he is stripped of his title.
So this is coming from Blizzard then?
Blizzard. Yeah. He's stripped of his title, banned from the game. And both of, I guess, the podcasters who were covering this also, podcasters, vloggers, I'm not sure, Twitch, something, they also were blacklisted, kicked off, all their content deleted because they were part of it and had basically put this out or had made public that this had all happened.
Wait, the announcers you mean, or people covering the
people covering it?
Okay.
And so I feel bad because I've been kind of out of the news. I've not been paying attention recently. I think I just had been a little dissatisfied with the content that keeps coming out of the news.
Yeah.
Just depressing kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I took a break, and I didn't know any of this was going on. And apparently it's a big deal with sports too, where there's an NFL player who made a tweet.
I think it was a basketball player. NBA, yeah. And LeBron had just heard one snippet about it, but yeah, LeBron had to come out and kind of just be like, I don't know, not fully supporting the guy,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
And then South Park,
Yep,
did their episode, banned in China,
yep,
and made that apology letter.
yeah.
South Park is savage, man.
Oh man.
That is crazy.
So I'm like, I don't. They're basically their thing was like, I don't know. If I don't feel good playing the game.
Yeah,
right
you feel
now.
dirty. Yeah, for sure.
Because Blizzard is gonna just bow to China.
And it's such a big market share.
Absolutely.
Do you know that they film their own scenes for the Chinese market in like big blockbuster films, like Avengers and stuff like that? They film different scenes
for the Chinese market
that supplement like a Chinese actor in there, so they can see that like say there's a scene with Iron Man or Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. where he's getting worked on.
Sure.
They'll film an alternate scene where the doctor is a Chinese.
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
At least is what I heard. I haven't bothered looking into it, but it makes sense because there's such a big market, A, and B, there's no trademark laws and copyright over there. It's like, okay.
Yep.
And it's like Google. Google operates over there, but they'll censor their search results because the Chinese government asks them to, or not ask them to. I mean, they're demanding
Tells
it.
them to.
Yeah. And it's either they abide or they lose
all that business,
all this business and influence because somebody else will just kind of come up and steal their idea. Because again, copyright and trademark, and just operate as Google would. It's so
crazy.
So many fucking layers.
Uh-huh.
So are you still playing the game? Don't answer.
I know, right? I plead the fifth.
and the fourth.
Yeah, all of them.
Wait, what is the fourth? God damn it.
I don't know what the fourth one is.
Is that do like representation or something? I don't know.
Could be.
You got me. Constitution. I only know the first, the second, obviously, because that's a big one here. Mm-hmm. And the fifth. Fifth.
Yeah.
No, do that for sure.
But so yeah, those are the games I'm playing right now, or not playing. Haven't decided yet. Oh, and Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls. Okay.
Throw that in on the tail end here.
The only one I played was Oblivion.
Okay.
Fun.
Super fun, right?
Yeah.
I got in with Skyrim. I was I was later in the canon.
I couldn't get into that because I had played Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I spent 60 hours on each of those.
And you knew what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what helped out, too, is when I moved to the house I'm staying in now, I was thinking we were only going to be there for a year. Flash forward. It's been 5 years. But I never hooked up the Xbox to, like...
Wi-Fi? Or to internet?
Yeah, because I still have a 360.
Okay.
Never got an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And it was, like, so far away, so I was just like, I've never really did it, and...
It's kept you safe?
It has, yeah. I think the last game I played was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Watch Dogs before that.
Well, don't you have a Switch?
No.
Is that not you?
Mm-mm.
Oh, maybe that's Trevor. All right.
Probably, yeah. Trevor's a big gamer.
Yeah.
No, just the Xbox, and I'll pull it out every now and then. But ever since having the kids, I have a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, my time is. I felt bad, not bad, but I threw on Grand Theft Auto 5 for them and let them kind of.
Did you really?
Roll around.
That's great.
As they're cursing.
How old are your kids?
Like 4 and 5.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, they don't understand. Come on, they're dumb.
They're having fun with it, though.
They're way too smart, actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they don't know any better right now. It's just funny to see that, you know. See.
That's funny.
Grand Theft Auto. What else are you into?
So aside from video games, music, film,
just those little few things, yeah.
Just those ones
that are fully encapsulating.
Yeah. Shoot. What else do I like to do? I like to snowboard.
We were talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't been doing it much recently, and we were talking about how we both are dealing with injuries that.
Yeah, I got the angles of a 60-year-old.
Oof.
So what happens when you lose 60 pounds too fast and go hard.
Oh, shoot, man. That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to set it up for, I don't know if we can do this year because I was telling you about, but.
Well, I'm going.
Well, next year, you need to go. But next year we do NAMM and we do a snowboarding trip.
Yeah, hell yeah. That'd be great.
That'd be badass. Yeah, I fell in love with it the first year I did it.
It's so much fun.
I came from a small high school where it allowed us to do lots of field trips because I realized like how, like what an opportunity we had from me coming from such a small school. Because I talked to my wife about, you know, like school trips, and she's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I mean, we went to Disneyland a handful of times at Knott's Berry Farm. We went to Universal Studios. We did all this stuff. And she's like, yeah, we never did. I'm like, what? Well, you know, when there's 50 kids in your class, it's a lot more manageable to do a class trip.
Totally.
So we would do like a ski club, which they don't do anymore.
Yeah.
It's too much debauchery.
Yeah, right? Oh, I bet.
Yeah, dude, you put freaking 40 plus, you know, hormoned up high school kids in a cabin, you know.
See what happens.
That snow melted real quick. But yeah, I went my junior year and spent the whole time on my ass for like the first 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Went back to the hotel, just like, you know, tail tucked between my legs, relaxed.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we're going back for a night run. Like the tickets are like $25.
Right.
And you get a night ski. And I'm like, what? I was like, my girlfriend at the time was like, I want to go. Cause she had gone like previously. So she was kind of familiar.
She kind of knew how, yeah.
Yeah. And, so I'm like, well, I'll just, you know, tag along. Right. So I go, and then all of a sudden the first trip down, boom, just clicked.
All right.
I mean, it clicked that I'm not falling. I'm still, you know, doing this.
That's all you need, though. Yeah. That's all you need.
Everybody's getting mad at you for flattening everything.
Right, exactly.
But at least it wasn't my buddy who we went down this like blue diamond. Blue diamond, right?
Yeah, sure.
No, black diamond.
Black diamond, blue square.
Blue square? It was a blue
Green
run.
Circle.
It was a blue run. It was a bunch of moguls, and it was like a pretty good incline, decline? I don't know what you say
incline,
that. And he happened to kind of fall on his ass and then flipped upside down. And so he's on his back head first, sliding down like a good 80 yards. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Nacho, Jose Castro. Yeah, that was the fun. We were dying laughing. But yeah, it for me it clicked that for some reason. And then the next day, just went and I had the most fun. Like fell in love with it. As soon as we were done, like dropped off our rentals and we're on our way back. Like all I could think about was like, when's the next time I'm coming? Which was the following year, but I love it.
It's so much fun. And it's so funny too, because like growing up in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, you know, you don't think of snow.
Nope.
You don't think of that. I had like one of my childhood best friends, his parents took him and his brother all the time on snow trips, ski trips, you know, Breckenridge, Telluride.
Damn.
And I was lucky enough to get invited every once in a while.
Okay.
So that was what turned me on to it.
Yeah.
And like they paid for like lessons and stuff.
Wow.
And got me on my feet. And then like, but they were like hardcore. Like they would do black diamonds all day.
Were they skiers though?
Oh, so the mom, dad, and older brother skied.
Yeah.
Younger brother, my friend was snowboarder.
He was cool.
Like he did ski first.
Yeah.
But then, you know, snowboarding became a thing and he's like, I want to learn to snowboard because it's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's got a cooler vibe to it.
Right. And that's what I said. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do the snowboard thing.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool.
God, you got me wanting to go right now.
Yeah. Oh, man. And like, but so they wanted to do like the hard runs and shit. And they'd take me with and... You know, I'm pizzaing when I should have French fries.
Hey, you took my line.
I'm like having trouble on these black diamonds and just like barely making it through. Like, and they're like, oh God, come on now.
Oh yeah, I've been there where you're like tagging along and you're like
slowing everybody down.
Yeah.
So, and this is probably on my like second or third time that they had me start doing these harder runs. Before I was doing like greens and blues and like that was chill and easy, but so I couldn't keep up, and they're like, let's get you one more round of lessons. Like, let's see if we can get you carving.
Yeah. Ooh.
And once I got that figured out, like a day's worth of lessons and kind of getting the carve down, ooh, that changed the game.
It does.
Changed everything.
It does.
When you can go fast and just like navigate, then you're like, okay, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and then your board catches like a little lip, and you're all,
yeah.
I got a concussion my senior year when I went. Come on.
Hey, Donut, you want to be on the podcast?
Yeah, get in here, Donut. A rescue, right?
She is.
Yeah.
Go see mommy.
Oh,
Go find mommy.
Don't.
Oh, she's
like, "Nah."
camera shy.
Camera shy is right. She's like, I want some water.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, snowboarding, pretty great.
We need to go.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah. We take a little rum up with us.
Oh yes. I'm trying to convert my girlfriend into a winter person.
You're not into winter?
I am a winter person. I don't know what she's talking about, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, she, a lighter skin tone, so you're bred for it.
That's fair. Well, let's say winter sports.
Oh,
Trying to
gotcha,
get her to
gotcha.
Maybe.
But I don't play any sports, so it's not like a winter thing.
Well, I just want you to come snowboarding with us.
Well, just have a toboggan.
There we go. You can disc down.
The most nerve-wracking part is getting off of the lift. Where
Oh
you're
my
just like,
god!
you don't know who you're
That's always
with.
the worst. If
Yeah.
you get with the wrong person, you're like, oh fuck.
I remember one time we were, I was sitting on my right, and my buddy that went down upside down, my buddy Nacho, and we got off at the same time, and he was like way too close to me, and the way like it went down, like we were both like my butt was like in his groin area.
Oh, no.
So I was like, oh, okay,
Oh, no.
as long as we don't fall, like whatever.
That's how you.
What happens on the mountain stays on the mountain.
That's right. It does. Until you put it on a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck.
Yeah. Ski trip. Board trip.
NAM trip. I still want to skydive.
I feel like I'll definitely do that sometime in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like the urge, as I know people tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now.
Now.
You get it. You're like, yeah, I want to go skydive.
I just want to plummet to the earth.
Right.
At
I want
200
a near-death
miles an hour.
as close to a near-death experience as I can get.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then just rely on this elastic and
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be great.
fuck it. And there's a bunch of skydiving places out here. There's an indoor skydiving joint.
I saw that.
Right next to the
I saw
Scottsdale GC.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe I got a baby step my way.
Frankie said it's pretty expensive for
Is
like
it?
how short it is.
That's a bummer.
I know. But, maybe we talk to the owners about giving us an extra 5 minutes or something.
That's right. Hey, you want to be on a podcast?
Yeah. Free falling.
That's right.
Well, Daphne, this has been quite entertaining.
Yeah. Feelings mutual.
Yeah? Good.
It's been a while since I've podcasted, so.
Wait, you're not a podcast virgin?
No, you have not popped my podcasting cherry.
Damn it.
No.
Who has the honors? Did you have your own?
I never had my own, but my good buddy.
Ooh, sorry about that.
You're okay. Christopher Leon Price.
Ooh, three
He's
names.
The full name.
3 names.
He's
Okay.
he's trying to make that a thing. So, I'm trying to help a brother
Okay. Yeah, it's a good move.
out. He podcasts. He's getting into it. He's doing the podcast thing. He's
Yeah.
like He's worming his way toward Joe Rogan.
Okay.
That's his goal. He's in LA doing stuff. He's already like close.
Yeah.
He knows some of the people who's on Joe Rogan's like little
and manages them and all that stuff.
So he's in the podcast circuit.
Ooh, what's his name again?
Chris Leon Price.
Chris Leon Price.
Yeah.
Chris Leon Price.
You're gonna know that name.
Yeah. I feel it. What's the podcast called?
So I don't know if he's doing anything currently podcast-wise, but he definitely was co-hosting one called Hollywood Hangover.
Okay.
That's the one that he and a buddy of his had, and they talk about movies that come out and like break them apart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, I couldn't tell you which one he's working on these days because he's been kind of moving around and doing different things.
Trying to find his next angle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about the angles.
That's right, it is.
Yeah.
The geometry. Got my protractor right here.
Algebraic.
Yeah.
Numbers. No. Well, where do we go from here?
I don't know. You've been steering the ship pretty well so far.
Yeah.
I go where you take me.
Matey.
I just talk. You'd be like, Daphne, talk about this. I'm like, okay, sure.
What can I get you to talk about then? Let's see. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, definitely Triceratops.
Why though?
So, I definitely have an affinity for like those
Horns.
Well, the horns and like the armor, but like not like Ankylosaurus. Like definitely the
Ooh.
tri-horn thing spoke to me somehow. And I think when I watched Fantasia.
Okay.
Is there a Triceratops in Fantasia?
You got me.
Maybe not. You know what? You're right. It's Stegosaurus and Tyrannosaurus, I think. It's in Fantasia. I don't know. I'm getting shit.
Have you guys had this argument before?
No. I really like Jurassic Park, all right?
Okay.
That's what really, like, there's the Triceratops who's, like, injured. It's like, oh, I'm fucking dying.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. And then they have to, like, stick their hand in the poop to find out what's going on.
That's right.
That's a lot of shit. Or whatever he says, Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum's full of gems.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, Triceratops.
Triceratops.
Oh, also... the Power Rangers had an influence on that dinosaur.
That's right. Was that the Black Ranger?
So the Triceratops was technically the Blue Ranger.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the elephant.
He was the mammoth.
The mammoth.
Right? Woolly mammoth?
Yeah. The mammoth. Yeah, because of the tusks there. Was that Power Rangers kind of like a little...
What?
Like the Asian character was yellow.
He was yellow and the girl was pink. The black guy was black. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is when I played pretend, like back in the day, I was always the Black Ranger. Hey,
okay. You got that soul.
I kind of got relegated to it, to be honest with you. But I was like okay with it. Zach definitely became my spirit animal.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I am the Black Ranger.
Yeah, his name was Zach. Mm-hmm. Billy. I know. I was Billy, the blue one.
Were you? Okay. Yeah, and he had the Triceratops.
Was he?
Yeah, he had the blue Triceratops.
What was the red guy then?
Tyrannosaurus. Saber-tooth tiger. Pterodactyl. Triceratops.
That's right. They were dinosaur characters. How am I forgetting? I kind of felt like I was like a lion and shit.
Well, there was the saber-tooth tiger,
which was the yellow
Ranger.
That's right.
And then eventually there was
they did a bunch of spin-offs.
The White Ranger was the tiger. But it was like a different tiger.
Liger.
No, that's a different thing.
Bengal tiger? Bengal tigers are the white ones, right? Shoot. No. Siberian tiger. Thanks.
I like Dragonzord too. Green Ranger was dope.
Yeah, because he was the dragon, right?
Yeah. Tommy. He was like evil at first, and then he became like good. Came over to the good side.
Yeah. That's just talking about like saving men. Troubled men.
That's right. The deep layers of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the 95 series.
And Zordon was that his name?
Zordon and Alpha.
Yeah. Oh, was that the little robot?
Rangers, we need you. Damn. Angel Grove has been attacked by Goldar and the evil Rita Repulsa. Aye, Rangers! Oh no!
Oh shit! Breaking out impressions.
Oh yeah.
You full of impressions?
I am chock full of
Yeah?
impressions. If you open the door, it'll usually
Give
keep
me the
going.
impression of a chimpanzee that forgot his PIN number at the ATM machine.
How's that?
That was beautiful. That was awesome. Yeah. I see your affinity for characters.
Yeah, I love characters. Definitely, Disney cartoons and Looney Tunes and all the good old 90s cartoons voices helped shape my... I have an affinity for just mimicking
Really?
TV and stuff. If I hear a good voice, I'm like...
What are some of your top impressions then?
Top impressions. Oh, God. So, I can do... like back in the day, back in my like high school claim to fame was I could do Fat Bastard. So... let's see. Shit. I'm on the spot now.
Yeah.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's baby back ribs. Dr. Evil, you can keep the money and the mojo, but I get your baby.
Oh, that is on point.
That'll wreck your voice though if you keep doing that all day. I used to just like go
because it's like right here, right?
You got to do like the really deep down.
It's really close to.
My girlfriend hates it when I do that. She's like in there cringing, I'm sure.
That's close to Willie.
Willie. Oh, Willie.
Yeah.
Willie, groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah.
I like accents as well. I always like the Halloween special. He's like, boy, you've got the shinning. Don't you mean the shining? Quiet. You want to get sued? I love that.
Fucking Simpsons, man.
Yeah, Simpsons has some great voices in there. Great voice actors.
Yeah, I know it's like, 6 of them?
Oh, yeah. I know it's like so few people do all the voices for the most part.
That's such a talent.
It's really incredible.
Well, I mean, like, just like singing in general, like voice, because I feel like I'm horrible. Like, I hate my voice. I can't sing. I tend to mumble. Like,
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I tend to mumble. So I'm just like, so I definitely appreciate like vocal acts,
Sure.
skills, all that stuff. Yeah.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. A good party trick.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially when you incorporate like the people standing around.
Yeah. Oh,
in it.
definitely.
Yeah. That's awesome. Maybe you do one of your covers in an accent or something in a character.
Yeah. Watch out. Don't tempt me.
Shit. I don't know where to go from here.
I don't know.
I think it's been pretty solid.
It has been.
Yeah. I had fun.
Been a pretty good one time.
Oh, okay. See what you did there. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Maybe vibe out for a little bit.
All right.
Let your lady kind of reclaim her space.
Seems like the dog already is.
Beautiful dog.
Oh,
Beautiful. Cool, guys. Well, follow Daphne and the Glitches. Where can people find your social media presence?
So you can definitely follow us on Facebook, Daphne and the Glitches.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing on Instagram, at Daphne, Daphne, by the way. People have trouble with that. So
Really?
it's surprising to me, but hey, Daphne and the Glitches. And then if you, let's see, you can follow our Twitter. Honestly, that's probably where we're least active, but I'm working on that. Twitter's like a little pet project for me.
Yeah.
But it's DNT, Daphne and the Glitches.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then keep an eye out on YouTube. We're probably going to be doing some YouTube stuff too.
Cool.
Now that we're recording.
Perfect.
November 23rd, Last Exit Live.
November 23rd, Last Exit Live. Guilty Pleasures.
That's right.
The
10
songs
p.m.
you won't admit that you love
That's right.
will be performed in different styles, right? That's the whole
right.
idea. Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to the latest installment of This One Time. And we will catch you guys again very soon.